Hello, everyone. Welcome to Always Open. On this week's show, we're going to be talking about what makes you happy, as well as improv, game of Cupidity, and a question from our box of issues. On this week's show, you got me, Barbara Dunkelman, and...
We'll get...
Where is he? There he is.
It's over here.
He's confused.
Oh, here.
You got the Lost Boy. Who are you?
Oh, God. Ow. Oh, hi. I'm Trevor. The nameplate, right? You get a lower third, right?
I'm Jessica Vasami.
I'm Mariel Salcedo.
Oh, my God.
It's
what?
me.
Oh, no, we're all on first and last name basis?
Oh, yeah.
You could just be Trevor.
I'm just Trevor.
Well, you fucked it up. You did the whole thing. You did the whole thing, and you fucked me up.
Oh, because you said Barbara Dunkelman. Mm-hmm. You said Trevor.
You said Trevor, and you said Jessica.
I just said Jessica Vasami.
And it's me.
Well, you said I'm Meryl Salcedo.
It's me.
We should just put me on
Should
her
we start over?
nameplate,
It me.
right?
No, I think that we got to leave that in.
Okay.
I think we leave in your fuck up.
Whoa. I wasn't the one who fucked up here.
Who fucked up?
I don't know.
We got baby butterbeers here.
We do.
What is this? Shot of the week?
It
Is
is.
that what this is?
Trevor, I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so happy to be here. Yay, the
Trevor.
3 siblings and Barbara.
Yep.
I
We
know.
are related.
I feel very outnumbered.
We all took the same spit test, and it turns out we're all twins.
Yep.
We are.
Just 3 twins.
Maybe it's because you all put your spit in the same test.
That would
We
skew the
mixed it
results
up
a little bit.
but
Yeah.
it's okay.
And Jessica, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
You said you're uncomfortable sitting here with me. I want to get into that. Tell me, is it because
You
you're
weren't supposed
homophobe?
to say that when the cameras were on.
Well,
because we're
is
supposed
it
to fake
because you're afraid of
whenever
gay
the
people?
Absolutely not, Mariel.
Is that what it is? Are you
Absolutely
exposing
not.
you now?
Oh my God.
Let's get into it. Why not?
Do you want to make out right now?
I think we should.
that where this
I
is
think
going?
we should start drinking before we get into this.
We already started.
Do you want to make out right now? I love that's your response to, are you a homophobe? Do you want to make out right now?
That's how much she knows she's not a homophobe.
Hey, that's how you know. Prove it.
Are you not a homophobe?
I'm not a homophobe.
Should we make out?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Please
Wait, that's not going to prove anything.
Please don't.
Sure, it will.
Well, you don't know
Okay.
what Barbara's got going on.
Just do it,
underneath.
and we'll see
Just-
what happens.
No, okay.
We'll save it for
Move
the end of
on.
the show. Get that retention. You know
There
what
you
I mean?
go.
Oh, exactly.
Audience retention.
Yeah.
We don't want them clicking off after 3 minutes.
What you have to say is we'll make out at some point in the show.
In the post show.
Yeah.
Because we don't want people skipping just to the end.
So will
true.
we.
That'll get
will-
way more
Absolutely.
views.
That will definitely happen.
Yep.
Like everything else we've promised. In the
We're
first
also
2
siblings.
minutes.
So
We're
does
also.
that-
It's weird, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, let's do our shot, my friends. This is the Piece of Ass
Hey.
shot. Love that name. It's submitted by Sarah W., and it has a third Southern Comfort, a third Amaretto, and a third Sour Mix. And as Trevor said, it looks like a little butterbeer almost.
It's like a little butterbeer.
Yes.
All right, well, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Shout out to you,
Playing
Sarah
the
W.
glass.
Clang,
You
clang.
okay.
Yum.
Goes down smooth.
Yeah.
Doesn't taste anything like butter.
Oh, I forget that you can't take shots.
Yep.
Why can't you take shots?
Because
a
then she'll
homophobe.
burp, and she doesn't like to burp because.
But I can't burp.
Well,
So it's not like I like to or don't like to. I just absolutely cannot. So.
so if you swallow a bunch of air, is it just like a pre-fart, and then it's just building up?
No,
and
it's only up here, so I just feel like a balloon that's gonna fly away, but I never fly away. I
So
just
how'd you
end
get
up
rid
in
of it?
pain.
Gotta swallow more
I-
helium.
I just lay flat on my back to get rid of the pain. I don't know where
you
the bubble
serious?
goes. Yeah, I have to get it checked. I need to go to a
Didn't
doctor.
you go to a doctor and like get it checked?
I got my gallbladder out because that was
Oh.
what they thought might have been causing it, but it absolutely was not. So that thing's out of me and it's somewhere else now.
Were you ever able to burp, even as a kid?
No. If I have, it's only been an accident and it's only been like a little like,
It was a medical
yes, I remember
emergency
that.
at
I
that
remember
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird. And here's the rest of this.
I have to burp myself sometimes.
Every
I make
time.
Laura
Just like pat
burp
on your
me.
back.
No, I can't do it now because I'm wearing a microphone right here, but I have to bang my chest until
Yeah.
I do it.
I make
Trevor's
Laura burp
witnessed
me.
it.
I don't know if you're really banging your chest, but I also have a mic if
Yeah.
you couldn't tell.
Basically, it's like
Yeah.
on my chest.
Yeah.
You should make him burp you. That's what.
Oh, that's a
the
good.
truth.
Oh yeah, when I
That's
see that, I'll just hey, come on over here.
No, it's what
Yeah.
Laura and I do it all the time to each other. We burp each other.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
It's also like a bonding thing between couples, I
yeah.
think.
Well, I breastfeed him.
That's another
All right.
very great positive bonding thing.
All right.
Moving on.
We are off to a great start.
He like All right, well, we're gonna start things
Gross,
off.
dude.
I'll never make that joke again. People actually breastfeed each other, right? That's the thing.
Oh,
yeah.
it's
There's
100%
like
a fetish.
websites where people
seen
can
it
go
in
and get
porn.
stranger milk.
You know,
I think it's strangermilk.com actually.
stranger. You know, we're not here to kink shame. I am. You guys are not.
Meryl is our local kink shamer on
But
the
it's
show.
fucked up. All right.
It's a little weird.
It's interesting.
But then, I mean, people say it's weird that we drink cow's milk.
She's a milkophobe. That's what
I
it
grew
is.
up on a
that's what it
dairy.
is.
I'm just glad
I was raised on the
I
dairy.
was literally raised on a dairy. so
molded by it.
Nah, I was molded by it. You only whatever.
Really
what the fuck does
adopted
say?
it.
Adopted the dairy?
milk.
Yeah, whatever. What's happening?
We're playing.
What's going on? You got
We have a whole topic on breast milk coming up. No, we're doing a game of Cupidity, which I think you've played before,
I
Jessica.
don't think I
Have you? I don't think we've got some Cupidity virgins.
We got two virgins on the show.
It's my favorite. I love popping Cupidity cherries.
So for your guys' knowledge and anybody watching who doesn't know what it is, Cupidity is a little icebreaker game we do where we take questions from OkCupid and we just rapid fire them to each one of you one at a time.
Sure.
And if you don't answer truthfully, we will know.
oh no.
God,
Yeah, we actually have a spring in both of your
Yeah.
chairs.
it's like goes right up.
Yeah. Your mic is actually also a heart monitor, so we're monitoring that too. So if your heart starts beating faster, we know you're lying.
Oh my God, I did not
My
sign
heart
any
is
paperwork for
racing right
this.
now.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, you totally. We know when you
Happened when we took the job.
signed up for Rooster Teeth. Yep, yeah, it was
Just
in
by
there.
working
Actually, we
here.
need to sign up for the website, so we can do it to any of you.
Anybody.
There's a spring in everyone's chair back home.
Always open.
So be honest.
Didn't exist back then when we created it, but here we are. All right, well, Trevor, you get to go first.
Ooh.
thank
Oh.
God.
Okay. Are we all getting the same questions? Is this
Nope.
a fair?
They're different.
Okay.
They're different questions for everybody.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yep. I think. Do we have
Are we
30
ready with
seconds
our
on the
timer?
clock?
We do.
Not
Actually,
quite.
it's not quite 30 seconds. Are you ready?
Oh, not quite 30 seconds.
And go. When you are cooking, do you closely follow recipes or do you operate
Loose,
more?
loose recipes.
Would you and your ideal match eventually feel comfortable farting or anything?
Oh, definitely. Yesterday, this morning.
Hypothetically, and if the lack of either wouldn't affect your health, which would you give up, sex or sleep?
Sleep.
Ooh, nice. Do you find the idea of
Nice.
shaving a partner's
Nice.
pubic hair exciting?
No, not really.
Imagine your partner enjoys getting naked in public places where nudity is not socially acceptable. This would be a turn on, a turn off, or irrelevant.
Mostly irrelevant, but probably like a turn off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I feel
Got
about
any
that.
plans? Is that what you trying to say? Wait, is that on OkCupid? Who's
Yeah.
putting that on their public profile?
sorry.
I want somebody who just like rips their clothes off just whenever.
No, they
appropriate.
just have all these questions that they ask people when they're setting up their profile. I guess to find like people who match
Find the
each other.
freaks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
interesting.
And then they can have these people go
Yeah.
off and start a new colony.
You guys are fighting in front of each other
We are.
already?
Wham.
I actually, yeah.
Damn.
Who did it first?
Oh, me? I think by accident.
You did by accident. and then he was all embarrassed, and I said, no, I'll make you feel better. And then I was like, but it
And
was
then
like,
she shit her pants. So
and told him to leave immediately.
okay, get out.
No, but I think mine was like, "Meep." It was really quiet.
Was yours like a thunderous clap?
Why? Why would it have to be that?
I don't
It's
know
just
because she compared hers to like a little meep, so it makes me think that yours was.
Mine was comically
Murderous.
thunderous.
Yeah.
And hers was like there was a whistle between her cheeks.
Well, if it was obviously loud enough for you guys to hear and you to get embarrassed by it.
Yeah. It
Hers was like a fly fart. Mine was like a
his was
just human
a
fart.
standard, like,
What happened?
like
How
I
did it
sat on
happen?
a duck.
Where were you?
Yeah,
what was
we were
going
at
on?
my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You were like lying on the couch. I think we had like just eaten dinner or something like that, or done something. I forget what we were doing.
I'll have to check my journal. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I'll have to check the cameras.
What?
What?
Yeah.
And then it's funny. I don't know if I could tell this story. I probably can. Whatever. You're here.
What does that mean? What does any of that mean?
You told me one time that you were taking a shower and I didn't hear this. I think I was still asleep. you said you farted and it sounded like a duck.
Yeah.
Dude, shower farts are fun.
So
Because
now, like anytime I fart, I'm like, wah. Because that's what it sounded like. This is a duck.
There's also
There's something about the water effects. I don't know.
that movie that you showed me. Was it Insidious? No. What was it? That scary movie that we watched together? The kid walks.
The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Bug's Life.
God, that
Life.
movie is
Terrifying.
terrifying.
Where the kid walks down
Bugs
the stairs
talking, being sentient.
and he goes, Mom. He says he asked for his mom, but he says it in a way where it
Yeah.
sounds like a fart.
He goes, Mom, but it sounds like, Mom.
Farting great. It's great.
Yeah.
Glad we got the
there's
farting
couch
conversation
farts.
out of the way.
Yeah.
yeah, well,
little bit.
you know, I've said this on the show. It's not my thing.
Farting in front of each other?
Yeah, it's not my thing. I don't know.
Just you
there's
gotta
something
So
you
when
left
you
a
have
mystery.
to fart, where do you just like walk out of the room real
I
fast?
think it's also maybe just because I don't have to often.
You're very lucky. Some
Yeah.
people like me are cursed.
Yeah.
Some of you are cursed.
Some of you. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one that's cursed.
perhaps.
Perhaps.
All right, Jessica, you
Okay,
ready?
yes.
I don't know if we have any farting questions for you. but
Okay.
We'll see. We ready with our timer? All right, and go. Do you think physical love is necessary for happiness in life?
I mean, I definitely think you need to be attracted to the person if you're going to be with them for like the next 50, 60 years.
It's a quick answer, Jess.
Is it okay for a married person to play around with someone with the permission of their spouse?
If it's okay with their spouse, do whatever you
Again,
want.
quick answers.
Which would you rather lose, the ability to reproduce or the ability to orgasm?
Oh my God, probably reproduce.
Would you ever sleep with a porn star?
No,
I'll do one more. Do you talk about your sex life with either of your parents?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Both parents?
My mom.
Okay.
Like, Mom,
my
I got
dad.
it in 2
Yeah.
months ago.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. No, similar, almost.
a month and a half.
No, yeah, I'm very open with my mom. Definitely not my dad. He doesn't want to hear about those things. But yeah, and my mom, I do. And sometimes she'll just be like, okay, I don't want to hear about it anymore. But then sometimes I'll just keep going. And she's like, all right, I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
So,
What do you
Before-
tell her?
I mean, I'll just tell her things.
Like,
just,
how into detail do you go, I guess? is what
I
I'm
mean, I don't go super into detail. Like,
You're just like, Mom, I got laid last night.
sure, or just be like, yeah, sometimes when me and so have sex, this is what happens, and or this happened the other day, it was weird, or like
man.
I farted during sex, who knows?
My parents watch the show and I still can't even talk to them about anything like that.
Because you've already said it all.
I know. They find out everything from watching it.
Yeah.
I do remember this was when I was, I think, 17,
Okay.
and I was with my first boyfriend at the time, and he was my first that I was ever with, and like parents aren't dumb. They probably know when their kids are having sex and stuff like that. And I remember my mom was helping with something in my bathroom, like hanging up a shower curtain or something, and just quietly she goes, "So, you're using protection, right?" And I was like, "Yes, Mom." And she goes, "Okay." And that was literally it. That was the extent of our whole conversation ever in terms of anything sexual.
What do you think made her say that? Do you think because of your age, or because there had been some signs that you had been
I think it
just
was probably obvious at that time.
Okay.
I'd been with that boyfriend for a year at that point.
Okay.
I don't think kids are good at hiding anything as well as they think
Plus,
they
if
are.
your mom, they know things.
Yeah.
They can pick it up.
Yeah, but also, like, still to this day have never gotten the talk from my parents. Maybe I should ask them. Maybe I should call my mom up and be like,
Can
hey,
I
Mom,
have this guy the talk?
still a virgin. Would love for you to explain how it works.
Did your parents ever give you the talk?
I think so, yeah. They're like,
Did you really?
Have you ever, I don't know, it's kind of awkward because they're like, mom was trying to like broach the subject about like boners and shit, because like if you're a kid, you just kind of get one randomly periodically, like kids might
Yeah,
play
how do
around
you
with it and stuff.
explain that to a
I don't know,
little
like
kid?
it was just weird. So she was like, so you might like know about that, do you know? Like, I'm like, yeah, Mom, I kind of know about it. So I just kind of sat there and entertained as she kind of entertained her, kind of talking about it. It was just really awkward, but I was like, yeah, whatever.
You gotta appreciate the effort. I
Yeah,
think.
Mom's pretty open about all that kind of stuff. I'm never really like worried about talking about stuff with her. So
That's good. That's good to have. I wish more people had parents like that.
Yeah.
man.
Well, also that's why this show exists.
Yeah, we're here to teach you about boners and nipple drinks.
nipple drinks?
Absolutely.
Milk? Breast milk.
Multiple?
Breast milk.
Nipple drinks.
Or
This
practically-
episode of Always Open brought to you by Nipple
By
Drinks.
nipple drinks. All right.
Oh, dear.
Speaking of nipple drinks, are you ready, Mariel?
Were you speaking about my nipples? Yes.
All right. Are you ready with our timer for Mariel?
Let's do it.
All right. And go. In general, how relaxed are you on a first date?
5.
Quick answers, Mariel. How often do you tell your platonic friends that you love them?
I would say pretty often.
Do you put the shopping cart back at the grocery shop?
Yes, all the time.
Would you have sex with someone who has very unusual physical features just for the novelty of doing it with them?
No.
Are you sexually fertile? I don't know what that means.
Fertile?
Am I fertile?
Sexually
Alright,
fertile?
Can you have kids?
I
Oh.
haven't heard otherwise.
What a weird
So
question
you
to have
wouldn't
on a
sleep
dating.
with Elephant
I mean,
Man
how would
just
you
to
know
say
that?
You did it?
No.
You have to go get your
Oh,
eggs
that's okay, 'cause
checked.
he's
I would
been
want
dead
to.
for
No, I
decades, so-
wouldn't. That seems wrong to me to sleep with someone just to say like.
for, like,
oh, I
the-
fuck the weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
That seems cruel.
Yeah.
I would rather fuck the weirdo because I love the weirdo.
Yeah, or attracted to the weirdo.
Yeah.
Or
'Cause
something.
I'm attracted to the elephant.
So like the guy in like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I mean, I put up with just this hideous.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? I was.
Hideousness.
I've
Well,
been
Texas polished me off, so
I've
I
been
look a
meaning
little
to
better.
ask.
Like
what's going on?
Android-esque, but
You know.
what?
He polished you off.
Yeah.
Shiny now. I don't know what the sexually fertile is.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're, I don't know.
Toast is done.
Something
Box
just
just turned on.
I think the
over
jukebox
there.
turned on.
weird.
Or it did something.
That was awesome.
Who the fuck does not take carts back at the grocery store?
Assholes.
Fuck those
Yeah,
people.
that's
People that
pretty
kind of like
shitty.
just jank them up
Yeah.
onto the curb and then leave them in
No,
the
the people
grass.
who just like unload it at their car and just leave it there.
I know.
Yeah.
Or like just shove it off to the side
They
somewhere.
have so many
Yeah.
of those cart returns, you might as well just
It's
use
like in
them.
every other
many.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah, just don't be an asshole about it.
Yeah.
I often, if I'll see carts hanging out in the parking lot, I'll just bring them back.
That's
Because
good.
that's how good of a person I am.
You are a great person,
You're an
Barbara.
angel.
Thank
I
you.
love you. There you go.
Oh my
That's
God,
my
you do
platonic
say-
friend.
You need to say
I
it
feel
more.
like I try to always make people feel like I care about them and I love them.
Yeah,
I tell everyone I love them.
Well, you don't do that with me.
So I don't
unless you're telling them to wash their body, nasty bitch.
You're a nasty bitch and you gotta wash your body. Yes.
I'm guest 4.
Ah, that's who you are. Okay. All right. Are we ready? All right. We got a thumbs up from Mr. Christian. And go. Are traditional gender roles important in a romantic relationship?
No.
You've been chatting with someone and you're hitting it off. They send you nude pics of themselves. What's your reaction?
No, thank you.
The only available spot in the entire parking lot is reserved to the handicapped. You're in a hurry and won't be very long. Do you park there?
Yes.
Ah, hypothetically, do you think you would be good at being a porn star?
No.
Do you like hickeys?
No.
Which of these is likely to make you more nervous? A promising first date or an important interview?
An important interview.
Did you say you were bad at, you wouldn't be a good porn star?
I don't think so. Trevor?
I don't know. But you're gonna take the handicap spot?
Yeah, that's fucked up. Barbara.
Okay. The only way I could justify it is if like you're dropping something off or just
Yeah.
running in quickly to do something. Not if you're actually
I
staying.
wouldn't even
there.
take a spot at that point. I just curb it, just pop right by the
Put your
curb
flag
on the
on.
side.
Well, that depends if there's a place to stop. Like I'm
True.
picturing
That's
like
true.
the parking lot that's like near here with like the
Uh-huh.
FedEx, where there is no place to just stop your car, and if
Yeah.
you stop, you're blocking something.
Yep.
So I'd rather just stop in the handicap spot for literally 3 seconds, drop off the package, and go out, rather than circle around.
No,
Dude, I once got yelled at by someone when I was, where was I? I was going to run into a liquor store, I think to buy stuff for the show. And I parked in the like electric charging stations. And I was literally there for 30 seconds, like in and out. And some guy came and yelled at, first of all, he didn't even have a fucking car that was an electric car.
What the fuck was he
He
yelling
was
about
being
then?
an asshole. It was literally that
you
like,
yell back?
old man yells at sky meme.
He's upholding ethics, okay? There's a
And that
promise you
man was
make.
Trevor.
Yeah, it was me. I was yelling at her.
Recognize you from somewhere.
I've parked in electrical parking spots before, just when I'm going in to pick
Yeah.
something up.
No, it's fine. It's not like
It's
you-
also-
You're really gonna charge your car right now?
There's also multiple of them, and if you're taking 1 out of 4,
I know what you're talking about, and I've done it there too. And if
Me too.
every single space is used except for that, I'm not gonna wait for like the one Tesla in like the city.
Oh,
to come
absolutely.
roll up
I'll
in
park
there.
there.
knows,
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially when I know like I'm going in, picking up a coffee
Yeah.
or something, and then running out.
Yeah,
Like,
it just seems, if you're quick about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because oftentimes I won't take the handicap stall in a bathroom, but if all the other stalls are taken, you do. Because
Yes.
like you want to go and if there's a line of people, like all the stalls are being used. There was one time where all the stalls were taken, I really had to pee, and so I went in the handicap stall. And I guess in the time where I was peeing, everyone had like finished and left. And when I opened the door to leave, there was someone in a wheelchair waiting. And I'm just like, God damn it, the one fucking time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dude, I do it all
Yeah.
the time.
they'd wet
If it's-
themselves
yeah, no, I
because
do
they
it all the
waited
time.
so long for you.
I felt so bad.
I do that often.
all the time.
I do that often. I just walk into whatever stall.
I mean, obviously, if I'm in the bathroom and there's like, I'm waiting in line with someone who is in need of the handicap stall, I'll obviously like go.
Yeah.
But if there's no one else in the bathroom and that's the only stall left,
Well, it's not like you need to just take the handicap stall for fun. You don't need
Right.
the leg room. You're not really kicking around. I mean, maybe
unless
you are.
they're the handicap stalls that have their own mirror and sink,
True.
which is like the lap of luxury.
Yeah, like the stepmother stall.
Yeah. Laura's mom has a very similar story where she was in a bathroom and like just went into the handicap stall and came out and she saw a lady with with who needed the handicap stall, obviously, and she had like a little wrist like kind of thing on, like a I don't know, like I don't know, something
like medical
handcuffs.
bracelet.
Yeah, like no, like a wrist like stabilizer. If you have like carpal tunnel. Or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And so she was just like, like trying to like justify, like, look, I'm hurt
I need
too.
the handicap stall
like-
because of this.
Yeah, she's like, this makes it okay.
Bitch, I was on crutches one time. I didn't even take the handicap stall. Okay.
You're a good woman, Barbara.
That was the day that you helped me to my car.
I wonder where
I
those
did.
crutches are now. Are they ditched in some airport somewhere?
They're in some convention hall. Yeah, I borrowed the crutches here because I sprained my ankle while I was at work and I had to go catch a flight. And obviously it like healed over the course of the weekend to the point where I didn't need them anymore. But carrying crutches through an airport and like with your
can't
bags
imagine.
Sounds miserable.
was the worst experience traveling ever that I've had. But I didn't need them by the end of the trip, so I emailed Props because that's who I borrowed them from, and I was like, on a scale from 1 to 10, how badly do you need these crutches back? And they're like, we don't need them. We could just buy new ones if we need.
Bin 'em.
And I was like, thank fucking God. So I just left them at the convention center.
Fuck it.
Someone else could use them if they need.
Yeah, you gotta do you, girl.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got.
All right, well, before we move on, I want to thank Dodger Coffee for sponsoring this episode of Always Open.
Dodger.
This episode of Always Open is brought to you by Dodger Coffee Co. Dodger Coffee Co.'s original coffee is a modern take on Americana diner coffee. It's made from responsibly, ethically, and sustainably sourced beans. The coffee is a dark, smooth roast, low in acidity with hints of cocoa, caramel, and peanut tastes. The coffee is roasted in the U.S. by a small craft coffee company. Dodger Coffee is made from the highest quality specialty grade beans. These are some of the best coffee beans in the world. Their cold brew has about double the caffeine content as a normal cup of coffee, which personally I love because I need coffee to function. Place a single order or sign up for a subscription and get 50% off your first order and 25% off all your orders for as long as you're subscribed. Try the beans and make coffee how you like at home. Try a delicious cold brew from right out of the bottle, or try one of their teas. Enjoy some of the best coffee and tea on earth while supporting creators and esports events. Check them out at dodgercoffeeco.com. We had Dodger on the show a couple weeks ago.
We did, and we love her coffee
Yeah,
and
she
her
was
tea.
And some Chima Hunter stuff too as well.
She'd come and hang out and play some Let's Plays with us. She's a big gang beast. We always died together. She would just grab on and we'd both fall to our deaths.
Oh,
She's a lovely person.
You ride together, you die together.
Exactly.
You drink coffee together.
Did you eat your lemon while I was doing that ad read?
I did.
I was just watching as she was sucking down lemons.
Dude,
What's going
it's
on
a
with
thing,
this?
man. It's just what I do.
This is what Meryl does. She takes a lemon, she puts salt on it, and then she eats
I
the...
did
Yeah,
see
I
some
saw
salt.
you doing that. I didn't understand. Why do you put the salt? Is just part of
It makes
your
it,
thing?
like, my cheeks hurt right now, and I
Mine
I
do too. They're
salivate.
salivating. Yeah.
Just
Are
thinking
you guys
about
hungry for lemons? or
No, just thinking about it.
Making your mouth sweat.
salty lemons.
Making your mouth sweat.
Meryl made me do
Interesting.
it one time, and it was the worst thing ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were filming a short.
We were filming something, and there was lemon.
I didn't make you do it. You were like, look, there's a lemon here. I want to be you.
I was like, I want to see what all this is about.
You hated
So I
it.
salted it, and I went,
no, man, it's
and I went, it's bad!
so good.
It made it more sour somehow.
Really?
Yeah.
enjoying
Salt
this.
brings out the
Yeah,
tartness.
it's great. I love
Yeah.
it. It's such a good snack.
Well,
Snack. Ugh.
looking like it.
I'm not gonna snack on a fucking lemon.
time.
Well, my friends, I wanted to talk about something that all of us have been doing lately, which is
Cocaine.
That's just you.
we do not condone drug use on this show.
No, we don't.
We've all been doing improv, taking improv. Mariel, Trevor, and I have been in one class together with some other people. We did one round of improv a couple months ago, and now we're doing a second round. And then Jessica, you've been doing improv for a long time.
Yeah.
Like
But-
37 years?
Veteran.
Okay.
36, don't go crazy.
Both of y'all now. No, yeah, I've been doing it for the past 2 years, and then now I'm in the. So Rooster Teeth now has a second class of improv classes, and I'm in the second class now. So you guys took the first, I took the second.
You're like a freshman. We're like sophomores.
Okay, sure.
I'm a senior. I got held back
okay.
multiple
I
times.
didn't realize that, yeah.
Am I cool? Okay. How do you like it? Doing it with like I know you've done it for a couple of years, but how do you like it like with
Yeah,
Rooster
so it's
Teeth
so it's
Yeah, like,
really
how's it
strange.
different?
people?
It's really strange because when I first signed up for improv, my main reasons for signing up for it was because I wanted to gain confidence in myself. I wanted to meet new people, and I wanted to get out of my head. I'm a very in my head type person. It's very hard for me to get out of there. That's so distracting. Mariel.
Distracting about it. Mind your business.
She's
little
shaking
salt
under the
shaker
table.
Loading up
I'm like,
another
what's she
lemon over
doing
here.
down there? And how many
pile of
lemons
salt
do you
on it.
have?
Texas knows. Texas loves me. He's just like,
That's addiction.
Just like a
We
camera.
should get a
Comes
Texas
out.
cam at some point, buddy.
Yeah, and so level 1 was super fun because we were just playing games, getting to know everybody. Then like from level 2 upwards, I had my good days and my bad days because my good days was when I was like, yes, I'm getting this. I'm out of my head and I'm really present in the moment and I'm just like feeling the energy between me and the other people and felt very confident. But then there's some days where I'm like very much in my head and I'll go out, I'll do a scene and I won't get laughs or I won't feel the connection with my scene partner.
Or you just don't know where you're going.
I don't know what's going on, and then I beat myself up about it, and then I don't like it, and then I leave improv just being like, ugh. But it was always a back and forth with me, and that was my biggest thing. It basically showed myself that I do need to just like calm down, get out of my head, and remain present in my everyday life and within improv. But the difference between my classes with people, complete strangers, and then here is that I'm doing it with my coworkers, who I already know and I'm very comfortable with.
It's also a really good group.
It is. So yeah, we have.
a huge group.
It is a big group. I have Josh, Blaine, Chris, Ellie, Stephanie Ard. She's in art department.
She also does improv too.
Stephanie does, yes.
With you, right?
Yes,
Used
we
to
did
do?
our original classes together. And Devin and Kyle Taylor, Drew Saplin. Yeah,
bunch
there's
of
a whole bunch of people in there. And the first day was kind of interesting because we were forced to connect with each other, as in like make eye contact with each other for a very long period of time, and just stare into each other's eyes, not speaking.
Did we ever have to do that?
No,
I
we
don't
never
think
did that.
Okay, we have different teachers, so.
We had to do like the one where we looked at each other.
Hey.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, the clap game where you have to connect
clapping.
first and then clap. Yes,
Yeah.
okay, so we're doing that, but then there was one where we're just staring at each other and like, if my arm moved up, Barbara, connect with me, then my arm goes down and then we're doing this and we're just like in sync with each other and we're going back and forth. And so if you're with it, like I feel comfortable with everybody, but that's a whole new level
It's
of
a new
comfort
kind,
to have with my coworkers.
It's a lot of trust.
It's a lot of trust and a lot of vulnerability. And then at one point I started getting really emotional because I was connecting real hard, I guess.
Who are you connecting with?
Josh and Ellie. And so then at the end of it, after we were all done connecting on our own, we went and huddled into a circle, again, being silent. We all huddled with our arms around each other and we took a deep breath. And then we all stayed silent for another second. And I was like, I'm gonna cry.
Are you sure you didn't like go to a cult initiation?
It did, and somebody, I think Josh had
this
said.
is way different than our
Now
improv
everyone
class.
up and
Yeah,
drink.
I know. Yeah,
This is
Josh
super
did
different from
say
our
it
improv
felt
class.
cult-like to him, but at the same time, it was really good because there's that. We have a lot of walls up, and so it was just knocking those walls down.
Yeah,
I was like,
especially because it's almost weird how it's more kind of vulnerable and embarrassing to do improv with people you're comfortable with and know rather than strangers. Because strangers you don't necessarily care about.
Yeah.
Right, you won't see them after the class.
Yeah.
yes.
We
if you don't
also,
want to.
I know our class was kind of like a mixed bag of people.
Yeah.
The first round we did.
We had an interesting assortment of people from
Yeah.
all over.
We had Alfredo and me from Achieve Honor, obviously. We had you, we had Mariel, we had Tyler, we had Max from live action, we had Maggie from animation, we had Cole from animation,
And Issa.
Issa,
Adam Ellis from tech,
Ellis,
Becca.
Becca.
I think that was it.
No, we had 12 people total.
Did we have 12? Well, Tyler was never there, so.
Chad.
Chad,
yep.
yes.
Screw
These
attack.
are
So-
great groups.
So like we all like were aware of each other, but like I don't think any of us had really worked together on any
Right.
production. So this was like a really good icebreaker for like getting to know each other and like on a performance level, so you can get comfortable with each other. It's kind of like the same thing that we do with the reunion stuff, like Spring Break. Everybody in Let's Play is like all aware of each other, but like it's nice to finally just get somewhere and just make content together to like take
Yeah.
down those walls.
yeah.
It makes a big difference. There's also, we talk about this all the time, about how a lot of people, and I'm sure it was the same with your class and it's the same with our class in level 1, how a lot of people didn't want to do it. A lot of
Yeah.
people were just like,
Absolutely.
this is the last thing I want to do.
It's
Fuck
terrifying.
this. It's terrifying. Like,
Yeah.
I have so much anxiety over doing it. And once we started doing it, I'm like, I want to do this every day.
Yeah.
Well, our teacher, Dave Buckman, who's from Cold Town, he went around the room and he was like, "All right, everyone, say why you're here and why you're doing improv." And literally, like, 6 of us were like, we're here because Cameron made us do it. Like,
Yeah.
that was our answer. Just like, Cameron made us do it.
Same
That's why
with
we're
our
here.
group. There's a couple that were just like,
And by the end of it, we were like, oh my God, we want to keep going. We want to do more. And so now we're doing level 2, and we're going to have a performance coming up soon.
Yeah, we're
which
doing
is
a live
fucking
show.
Terrifying.
how do you guys feel now then?
I'm like even more nervous.
Yeah, I think it's scarier now. Well, that's the funny thing is, so a few weeks ago, Jess Lonnet, who works in sales, she's been doing improv here for years, and she invited me to come and be a monologist on her show that she does. And
what's a monologue?
monologist. So basically, they like improv troops will invite someone to be a storyteller. So essentially, you come in and you tell a story for 1 to 2 minutes, and then they do improv based off of things they pick from your story.
That's kind of like what Max told he
yeah,
read
he
one of
wrote-
his old blog posts for our class
Yeah.
one time, and we had
So,
to
yeah.
do a scene based off
It's
that.
basically someone comes in, you pull from whatever their story is about, you pull inspiration from that, and you do your scenes based off of that. But it was like one of the most terrifying things I've ever done.
Just to tell the story?
Just to tell the story. And Jess kept telling me, she was like, well, you do Always Open, and you go to RTX, and you do
Panels.
You do panels, and you do stuff live in front of like literal thousands of people. Why is this so scary to you? And I was just like, I don't know. It's just like, it's being vulnerable in a different way.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Also, on Always Open and RTX and stuff like that, people know us.
People
and
know us.
already like us.
And
usually.
there's already like, we can
Yeah.
go into this thinking that like people already somewhat like us. Like maybe they think we're funny, they like us for whatever reason. Like we already know there's already a level of trust built there.
Yeah.
Right? So like I know like if I like make some shitty joke, like someone maybe will laugh at it just to make me feel better. But like when you're doing that,
Which hopefully, if they are at our performance, they do.
yeah. Well, if you're in a room full of strangers, like they don't owe you anything. So they're like, oh, we're only gonna laugh if you're actually funny.
Right.
So yeah, I remember like afterwards I posted about it, and I think you and like a few other people were like, why didn't you tell us that you were gonna do this? And I was like, I didn't want anyone I knew to be there because I knew I would fall flat on my face.
I definitely was one of those people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, both of you and like a few other people were like, and Cameron showed up because Jess ended up telling him, and I was like, why the fuck are you here?
I think the good thing though about having people come watch you do improv, especially people who support you, they'll laugh.
Yeah.
even if
Sure.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
That's a great thing about
Yeah.
Dave, our teacher, is that he's very vocal when he thinks something is funny.
Yeah.
Like he will like laugh out loud.
Which when he doesn't laugh, I'm like, what am
Yeah,
I
I
doing
know.
wrong?
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing that's kind of intimidating too about the class is that there's just one person there. So like you're like, oh man, I thought that what I said was funny, but he didn't laugh. Then it's like, well, someone else could have laughed. But
One of the
performing
things-
to an empty room.
Yeah. One of the things that our teacher, Michael Jastro, which he's also teaches at Coletown,
I have like glasses.
sometimes he wears glasses.
Okay, I think
He
I might
has-
have seen him there.
Okay. In the first 3-4 classes, he's been making it very clear to us to not try and be funny at all, and to just focus on like the relationships between the characters and just having a grounded, real scene, because the comedy will come out of it. It'll just happen. And so that's taken a huge amount of pressure off to just like be able to go up in front of a few people or thousands of people and just be myself, take the walls down, and it'll just happen because of who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And that's tremendously helped. It's been so nice. I'm like, I don't have to go up there and be funny, and then it end up being funny anyway. But if I go up there thinking, God, I have to be funny, I'm gonna just not be funny.
Yeah.
So.
We had several instances where like in the same thing at the front half of the first class, we'd go in and we'd try to be funny, and because of that, like the audience knows you're intentionally trying to be funny. You haven't built that connection yet. Whereas like if you just make it natural, it's easier to bond to, and then natural, like you slip up and now your universe doesn't make any sense because like we had a skit yesterday that now 14-year-olds get driver's license because someone slipped. Well then you just run with that and you own
Then
it,
that's
and
the
you
new
extrapolate.
reality.
Right.
Improv.
Before we wrap up this discussion, I just want to know like what you all feel is the biggest benefit you all got from it. Because we talk about it a lot and how much fun it is, but I feel like we all benefit from it as performers or as podcast people or hosts or whatever it is.
I think there's a lot of benefit you can derive from it. There's a lot of lessons that like I learned in particular. But doing Let's Plays, doing podcasts, doing things like that, especially with Achievement Hunter where there's a lot of voices that are always going, it gives you those tools that enable you to like add to the conversation or like kind of pepper in things here and there and kind of roll with like an ever-flowing conversation without like, and maintain a confidence too.
Yeah.
I think it's helped me with listening the most. That's something that I have always been kind of bad at, especially when you're like interviewing someone or just having a discussion, because you're always trying to think of what you want to say next and like where you want to take it. But you could do so much when you listen to what the other people are saying and playing off of that instead of what your own ideas are.
That's the tough thing with improv too, is that you have to do both at the same time.
Yeah.
You have to like listen, but you also have to like, okay, where can I pull from this? Like, what can I
Works those muscles.
Yeah, works those brain muscles. I don't have many of them.
Well, we're working on them, so.
No, I think the confidence has helped a lot. Like just, and especially our group has gotten smaller now. A few people had to like drop out, so it's just 7 of us. And I think like the trust and the confidence, because if like you have an empty stage and no one's hopping up there, and someone hops up, then you're like, well, fuck, like I gotta go help you out.
Yeah.
Can't leave them hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's been the same thing, is just self-confidence in myself, because sometimes, like, I feel like I'm a very weird person, as we're all very weird. But you don't really know, like, well, what level of weirdness are you? And are you gonna accept my weirdness? Because we're all different kinds of weird. And in general, just being weird and different.
Yeah.
And I think improv was a way for me to realize and also exercise my weirdness and accept that we're all kind of crazy and different, and embracing and accepting of that was really a huge thing for me in improv. So I can be myself, and sometimes in daily life I might say something to somebody and they're just like make a face, but I'm like, yeah, I said that and I'm gonna own it. And
It's usually me making the faces.
absolutely. So
Meryl has
Yeah.
the most judgmental face.
yeah. So it's made me feel better about myself.
Good. And yeah, I guess the thing I always think about is like when you're watching someone act or perform or something like that, you're not like judging them in a bad way where you're just like appreciating that they're up there doing that.
Yeah.
And I kind of have to be like, that's what people think when I'm up there too.
Right.
But you get too much in your own head.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on, want to say thank you to Daily Harvest for sponsoring this episode of Always Open. We've all seen a mouth-watering healthy smoothie on Instagram or Pinterest and thought that's the kind of thing I should be eating. But who has time to make that every day? Wouldn't it be great if you could get those picture-perfect nutrients without having to hit the farmer's market and chop up a million fruits and veggies? Now you can get all your superfoods super fast with Daily Harvest. Lots of supers. Daily Harvest sends superfoods straight to your door with your choice of smoothies, activated breakfast bowls, or Nice Scream vegan sundaes. Great name. Each single serving cup comes ready to blend or heat. Their produce is organic and unrefined and looks as amazing as it tastes. You could actually see all of the whole ingredients when you open the cup. Daily Harvest freezes all of their ingredients at peak freshness, sealing in their nutritional value. Preparing each cup is insanely easy. Just add water, or if you're feeling fancy, you could substitute other liquids like coconut or almond milk. Just go to daily-harvest.com and enter the promo code OPEN to get 3 items for free off your first box. That's promo code OPEN for 3 free Daily Harvest cups at daily-harvest.com, daily-harvest.com. Speaking of superfoods, you got another lemon there that you're
Well, this
preparing
one had
for
a
yourself?
lot of seeds in it.
Did it?
A lot of little seeds.
A lot of little seeds.
Wow.
So
Well, you can grow your own lemon trees in your stomach.
Yeah.
And just keep the
like
keep the feeding going.
it's like that episode of Rugrats.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Where
You know
Tommy
exactly.
eats, not Tommy.
I thought it was Chucky
Chucky.
with a watermelon
Chucky
seed.
eats the watermelon seed and
We,
dive into
our
him.
generation just remembers that episode.
How old are you,
like,
Trevor?
I'm young.
How old
Excuse
are
me?
you?
27.
Oh,
Okay.
you're not young at all.
I know I'm not
Yeah.
young at all.
I'm
No.
still the oldest person at this table. Wait, how old are you?
29.
Oh, you're 29?
I had to
Yeah.
dust her off before she got here. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
This new
That was
friendship is
you.
no longer.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. I'm just
Shit.
kidding.
Canceled. Out. See you later.
Springs.
29.
Yeah,
Yeah,
springs.
guys. Oh my God, what am I gonna do for my 30th? I've been thinking
When
about
is your
that a lot.
30th?
June.
Oh, shit.
It's coming up. So I'm just like, what do I do? Do I do something? Do I not? I don't know what to do.
You should definitely do something.
30
Yeah.
is big.
30
I know.
shots.
Yeah.
I'll
hey,
be on the
next,
floor.
the next milestone is 40. No one wants to celebrate 40.
Just die before.
40
right?
shots. What's wrong
Yeah,
with
you're
that?
right.
No, we love people who are 40.
Did you just do
above.
shots for every milestone?
Yeah.
It's your first
old you
birthday?
I gotta stop forgetting, remembering my birthdays after a certain point.
Trevor's like, it's Monday. All right, well, the next segment we have, we wanted to read a little message we got from the community, followed by a question for our panelists, our table, whatever we call you guys. We receive a lot of really wonderful messages to our email, alwaysopen@rooster.com. A lot of people saying thank you for the show, or something we talked about helped them, or whatever. And we wanted to read one and then chat about it. So this one comes from Sean C. And Sean writes, I wanted to send you guys an email to say thank you for Always Open. It is one of my favorite RT shows because of how honestly and inclusively it tackles questions about life, sex, and relationships. I battle infrequent but intense bouts of depression that tend to sneak up on me before I could curb them. One of my safety measures, things to do to get through the worst of it, is to attach hardcore to one specific show and binge until I start to feel like I could tackle the world head on again. I've done this ever since high school and a really nasty 5 or 6 years of depression and suicide attempts while working through coming to terms with being gay. It works and sometimes works really well depending on the show I binge. Always Open has been that go-to show for the last year, and even more so for the last few months after being laid off. You guys make me laugh and then help me come back around to seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm incredibly grateful to you all. Just wanted you to know that.
It's very sweet.
We love you. That's so sweet.
That makes me emotional.
Yeah, I mean, I know that. I've been there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's an honor to be part of anybody's happiness. But we always say, like, we're not responsible for getting people through. It's the strength that people have within themselves to get through those tough situations. But if we could be any type of catalyst for that, that's a wonderful feeling for us. But the follow-up to that question is, what is something that makes you happy or helps you escape any hard times that you're going through?
I feel that as far as like watching shows and binging shows, the one show that like always makes me happy is The Office or New Girl. I can watch that on repeat all the time. Michael Scott makes me feel better about myself.
It's because it's such a mess.
So I totally get, watching shows. But sometimes, we all definitely need to escape sometimes and just like get away and like turn our phones off and just maybe we have to plug in and just to distract ourselves.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so that's the binging of the shows. But then, that's not going to solve our problems, obviously. And there has to be, you have to find a healthier way to kind of deal with whatever you're going through. And for me, I will talk to anybody and everybody about my problems, which sometimes I should probably limit that to like a few people, but I usually just like go to everybody. I'm like, hey, give me advice, because everybody's perspective is so
It
different.
makes you feel closer to people when you do
It does, absolutely, and especially with my female friends.
Sorry.
But yeah, and my male friends. Yeah, and so it makes me feel a lot better. I can get a lot of different perspectives on like how to handle a certain situation because sometimes there's so many thoughts inside your own brain about how to get through something. It helps when you can go to different people and be like, hey, I'm having some trouble. Can you help me just kind of like narrow down like how I should go about this next process? This is something I'm struggling with. And another thing is therapy. I go to therapy. I'm not ashamed of it because it is super helpful for me. And even if you don't have a million life problems, if you just want to talk about what's going on in your day-to-day life, like therapy
Or
is
just have someone to talk to.
Absolutely. Somebody that
anything.
that will keep things confidential, that won't talk to other people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not gonna post about it on Twitter.
No, exactly. They're not going to post about it on Twitter. And most people that you go and confide into hopefully would not post about that on Twitter unless you have really horrible friends.
Hashtag Jessica's problem.
Not to get away too much from that story, but there is this podcast that I started listening to who is a therapist. She's a relationship therapist named Esther Perel, and she records her sessions with her patients and releases them as podcasts. It's all anonymous, so you can't, you can never tell who they are. But it is so good to just sit there and listen to and like help watch her, listen to her work these problems that these people are having. And it's like everything from like cheating to like, they're not having sex anymore to like all sorts of crazy things. But it is such a good podcast. And I started listening to it and it, in a way that's become like a form of therapy. It's just like listening to someone else's therapy. It's really
because it also shows that you're not alone. Like we're not alone in this world. We're all going through all different kinds of problems, all different, some more severe than others, but we're still like all in the same boat and we're here to support each other. And so that's great. That would,
It also kind of gives you the tool belt of her. What did you say her name was?
Esther.
Esther. So it basically gives like you see how she kind of works through people's problems and the outside perspective she brings. So then like whenever you have something, you can kind of have that in your head, like how somebody else might kind of look at that, and you kind of pull yourself out of your problem a little bit to look at how you can deal with it in a healthy way.
It also probably makes you feel like you're not alone in having that problem.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
Like even hearing someone talk about it candidly like that.
Exactly.
Probably does a lot. What about you, Trevor?
In high school, like going into college, there was a time where I was like severely overworked, surprisingly, in high school. Like, you wouldn't think so, perhaps, but...
I feel more overworked in high school than I did in college.
Yeah, there was definitely times where, but anyway, like, and so it affected my ability to sleep. So because I would always be stressing about everything. I'm like, no, this is my time to escape, and just like, I can guilt-free give myself this 8 hours to just escape and not worry about it. And that's how I got really good at doing that. So like, now I know a lot of stress can actually be amplified by the lack of sleep if you're like super tired or if you haven't been sleeping well. So like a lot of times I'm just gonna go to sleep, kind of like escape the problem temporarily. And then a lot of times in the morning when you look back on it, like you kind of have a fresh mind and it suddenly feels like it either disappears if it's like kind of just a small stress or something, or like it just feels way more digestible, just like way more surmountable.
Some of the best advice I've ever been given is sleep on it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you want to respond to something especially that is angering you or upsetting you, if you just take yourself away and sleep on it, or even just give yourself a few hours to do something else, focus on anything else, and then come back to it, you're like, this doesn't bother me as much as it did when I was dealing with it.
Yeah.
And you're able to look at it almost from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I love mundane things that give me a sense of accomplishment. That's what I'm into.
Examples?
Cleaning.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like, if my room's a mess, and then I know I'm a mess. Like, I'm a very anxious person, and like that's one of the things that like my poor girlfriend a lot of the times she's like, oh, let's hang out. I'm like, I can't. I gotta clean. Like, I just gotta clean.
I've told this to Trevor before. I'm like, I feel stressed out because my apartment is messy, or this is something like something has built up and I just need to deal with it, and it has nothing to do with anybody else. It's just like my own mental.
Yeah.
It's like cleansing inside my brain.
Yeah.
It's also
It can,
cleaning.
it can be like a looming like anxiety. Like it
Yeah.
can cause anxiety. And it's nothing super big, but you just know it's there. It's like, and you know, yeah.
Just wanna
it can
deal with
definitely,
it.
it can definitely loom.
Yep.
deal with
I
it.
used to pay for a lawn service to come and mow my lawn, and I've started mowing it myself. It's like the best thing I've ever
It's
done.
cathartic.
It really is.
Yeah.
No, and it really is, and especially because you can see the work you've done. Like, you can literally mow a line into your grass, and you're like, holy shit.
It's like vacuuming too.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, there's such a change, and it's such a sense of like oh shit. Like, I got calluses on my hand from mowing so much like recently.
Look at you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You also like
Real
been
handy
doing-
lesbian.
You've been also doing like a lot of like house repairs.
Yeah. I love doing shit.
handyman.
Real handyman.
But no, I've always loved doing things that I can see. I'm a very stubborn person. That's like, I think
No.
can be. I know, right? Can you believe?
You can see the final result.
Yeah. So I'm like, once I want to do something, or like I want something, then like I will go crazy if I don't get it, or if I can't accomplish it.
I feel like you guys are very similar.
Yeah, I can see. I definitely like am bonding with you over this right now.
You know, because we're basically the same
related.
person.
Well,
That's why,
I
Barbara.
kinda-
Oh my God.
It all makes sense
have
now.
I definitely feel like I got that from my dad, which is
My
like
dad's the same-
to
same
take pride in the things that you do, the work that you do, because like it's easy to be lazy, but like it's nice to do so, even if it's like something like mowing the lawn or raking leaves or doing something a little bit more mundane.
Yeah.
But like taking pride in that and doing it well. And then that kind of like then goes into every aspect of your life, you know, whether it be like if you're younger, if it's like your grades or something, or if it's like, what do you want out of yourself? What do you want out of your life? Take pride in all the small things, and then the big picture will kind of just follow suit. You know?
Yeah. No, I love finding tiny problems that I can fix myself. Like, instead of, because, you know, there's so many things that, like, you know, I've been told, like, oh, just, like, hire someone to fix it. And also, I think it comes from the, like, how cheap, not cheap, I wouldn't say cheap, I'm very frugal.
Frugal.
So,
Smart with your money.
yeah, well, so when it's like, oh, I can hire someone to come and mow my lawn and spend, you know, $80 a month doing it, or I can just do it myself. Like, I was very lucky my dad bought me a lawnmower.
That's very nice. That's a good gift.
But, you know, it was still like, for me, it was like a sense of accomplishment that I knew would make me feel so much better. And it's something that like, I can walk out. I can like, I'll like, even in the morning, I'll like open, after I mow my lawn, I'll like open my shades. I'm like, that's a good looking lawn.
Like,
man.
that's fresh.
That's fresh. That's a fresh cut lawn.
It's like a
right
new
there.
haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
I don't know.
sick.
I
Cut
get,
your own hair.
I don't cut my own hair.
What a sense of accomplishment.
It's just like, it looks like a mess, but hey, I did it.
He's like, yes, I cut my own hair. Doesn't it look nice?
But no, there's definitely a sense of like a pride and that you can, especially if you're, you know, like if you're down on yourself and you can find something that will give you pride and will like be like, I did that, I accomplished that. Even if it's something as mundane as like washing the dishes. I mean, a lot of people when they get depressed, they can't even get out of bed, can't wash the dishes. And
absolutely.
like just pushing yourself to do the smallest of things
Yeah.
is like
Will lead to
huge.
maybe even bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, get like a
Maybe I'll
couple
build a
like
house.
Yeah.
get a couple like checkpoints done, basically. Like the things that are surmountable, because then it's like a waterfall and suddenly a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you look at everything, it just becomes an insurmountable hill, and you're like, I gotta do that, and I gotta do that, and I gotta.
And then
I've
it's-
definitely been there. Like I've just sat there, just like, I just want to watch TV now because like I have to do that and that and that and that. And, what do I do? You know.
Yeah.
You
But
do
you just
nothing.
have to get up.
Yep.
You just kind of, as soon as you force that's the biggest hurdle. You just start forcing yourself to do one of like the bite-sized ones, like chores or whatever it is. And then like you're just doing it, you're kind of maybe mindlessly doing it. That's why I like music, you know, just listen
Yeah.
to it. And suddenly it's done, you're like, all right, okay. And then like, and then,
Do the next thing.
you know, it goes on, but.
Baby steps.
Baby
Yeah.
steps.
I'm very similar in the sense where, like, to de-stress myself, cleaning helps a lot.
Cleaning's great.
Because usually a lot of my stress is kind of in the back of my mind because something is unorganized or dirty or whatever. Not saying that I'm anal in the least.
Did you say you like anal? Is that what you said?
Sure.
Trevor?
In high school, they called her anal girl because she was very neat and organized. That's 500 days.
it's
So 300 days,
adorable.
500 days,
500 days.
500 days somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But something else that like makes me happy. I used to spend a lot of time like watching TV, watching Netflix, watching movies and stuff. But especially like a few months ago when I was single and had a lot of like time alone, I would like to just go to a coffee shop or go somewhere outside and just like be on my computer or read and just like
Yeah.
take myself just into public, into a place where I could just like escape my own apartment and escape work and escape even like people I knew just to like kind of spend time alone.
Yeah.
So that's something that definitely brought me down and calmed me down a lot when I was feeling really stressed or upset about something. But like the question about what makes you happy, like Trevor's a huge part of that now. He brings a lot of joy into my life. It makes
Ditto.
me so happy. But just having someone who you could like talk to about everything.
Yeah.
And like someone who like understands and listens is just like such a wonderful thing to have.
Trevor's
I'm
like,
getting-
I wish I had that.
I'm glad I can be that for you. I'm still looking for. No, just kidding. Definitely kidding. No.
No.
I'm
you guys
getting
are very-
verklempt.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, to find whether it's like someone that you're dating or someone just like a close friend, someone that you can just like be open. Where's my camera? There it is. Someone just, that you can just be open with, like just open and honest and candid with, like is super refreshing.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's your parents, like we talked about earlier, whether it's someone you're dating, whether it's whatever.
A therapist. Who
A
knows?
therapist, yes,
Therapist.
absolutely.
Or your
Like,
lawn.
Or your lawn.
Anything.
She speaks to her
But I
mom.
think
Go
it's
outside and
also-
yell at the sky.
It's
even,
also
but-
kind of a message of like being able to open up as yourself to someone else. Like not like yes, it's important to have someone who will listen and understand and be able to talk to you, but you yourself being able to be open with someone is like a big step for a lot of people, and I think it's a really scary step. But if it's the right person and it's like a good friend or a family member, whoever, they will not judge you.
Yeah.
They will not judge you for what you say or what you do, and they'll be there for you unconditionally.
Yeah.
And that I think is like, something that
I would never.
I have from the Trevor.
I think
excuse
I think
me.
they're finding that in the.
We're being in love over here.
So we found it over here as well. So we're absolutely just as happy.
I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. I was like, the second I bring up anything to do with Trevor, you guys are gonna be over there.
I want the camera to just like hard cut and somehow I'm sitting on a stool right here, just like the three sibling, well, whatever we said.
I'll have a nice big couch all to myself.
The three twins.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I love it. Yeah, man. Find what makes you happy, and then hold on to it and
Yes.
grasp it
Yeah.
and never let it go.
And if you like always open, tell your friends and family.
Tell your friends. Maybe it'll make them happy.
Exactly.
Maybe it makes you happy, and if it does, thank you. That's a huge compliment.
Exactly. All right, well, before we get to our boy box of issues, I want to thank Tripping for sponsoring this episode of Always Open. This episode of Always Open is brought to you by Tripping.com. I travel pretty often, and it can be really stressful to plan and find places to stay, but Tripping has made it super easy. Don't visit a ton of different websites. On Tripping.com, one search lets you compare every home from the world's top vacation rental sites in one place to find the best deal on your perfect vacation rental. Vacation rentals offer more privacy, more space for everyone under one roof, and more choices with fully stocked kitchens, extra bedrooms, and even hot tubs. Hell yeah, I love a hot tub. I'll take any place with a hot tub. All the comforts of home and then some. Best of all, at Tripping.com, you could join the millions of travelers who find more savings with rates up to 80% less than traditional hotel rooms. So if you're planning a spring break on the beach in Florida, Tripping.com. Coming to Austin for RTX, perhaps? Tripping.com. Dreaming of sitting on the deck of a Smoky Mountain cabin? Tripping.com. This year, save time and money when you book the vacation home of your dreams with tripping.com/open. That's TRIPPING.com/open. Find your perfect vacation rental, tripping.com/open. Thank you, Tripping.
We be tripping.
Girl, you tripping.
Girl, you tripping.
That sounds magical.
Girl, you
though.
tripping.
Oh, definitely.
RTX coming up.
You had me
come
at
trip with
hot
us.
tub,
That's why I love
cold
you.
tub. Just like an ice bath. Have you ever had an ice bath?
People do that.
No, people do that, though.
Do you play sports?
No. Well, yeah, I used to, but I've never taken an ice bath. And I know people do. That's like,
neither.
I kind of want to just do it.
Yeah.
What's
Who's that?
up? What'd you
What
find
is
in the box
that?
of issues?
So this is Frank.
Yep.
What?
Who's
I guess
Frank?
Trevor put this in here.
Trevor?
So Trevor and I once went to Toy Joy downtown in Austin, which
yeah.
is like a toy shop.
She was bragging about all the Ruby merchandise that was in there. I was being very proud. But they have a lot of cool stuff in there,
Yeah.
including blind boxes.
Blind boxes of the series called, I
What's
think
a blind
it's
box?
Smisky.
What's a blind
Blind
box?
boxes
Smisky.
are there's different brands that do this, including like Simpsons, Futurama, like all these.
We do now.
We do a
Team
blind
Hunter
box?
Team Hunter blind boxes, Ruby
Check it
blind
out.
boxes. It's basically like these little toys that you get where you don't know which one it's going to be. And they're usually pretty cheap, like $4 to $6.
It shows on the side of the box. There's like one of like 5 or so options. So you're like, okay, I
And
could
like
get one
what
of
the
these.
chances are.
Yeah.
And there's a series where I don't even know what this is.
Here. So like, I don't know if we can get a close up of his face, but basically it's this little glow in the dark figure. Here, and he makes this face
He's very sad. He
in
looks sad.
in every pose. Yeah.
Ah, he's so cute.
So in this one, he's laying down.
He's laying down.
And that's the.
And he just makes this face that he's just like,
I don't know if it's that drastic, but
oh, you're right. It's more.
yeah, it's more like a sad.
I couldn't help it.
It's a sad
Couldn't hold it.
but
But yeah. So I thought he was fucking adorable, and we got him, and we got the laying down one, and we called him Frank because we kept calling him Freak, and I thought it was just a little.
That's mean.
Yeah, a little mean. So I was like, we'll call him Frank because it's close enough.
yeah, and I think you hit him first.
Yeah.
He bought it and took it home with him.
So when you open up her drink cabinet, like the main shelf is right at eye level, and I snuck them in there when I came to visit one time.
And I think I was like, you want some water? And you're like, yes, I would like some water.
Yes, I would like some water with a fresh glass from your cabinet. She opened it up and just.
Soft Frank.
Yeah. So now it's a running gag that we always hide it
Yeah.
somewhere in each other's.
You're two lovebirds. What is this?
So I think Meryl tried to ruin it at the start
Well,
of the show.
I didn't try to ruin it. He did a bad job of explaining. I mean, if you would have said like,
You just went shuffling your way into the box of issues.
my favorite.
well, this is.
think
Listen,
my-
you're a guest here, okay? That's my box.
Yeah, and I don't know how it works. Marielle.
I sense some
patient with me.
jealousy.
He's a good boy. Frank.
Well, he'll keep us company while we do this box of issue.
There
you go. Oh, perfect. All right, this one comes from an anonymous male, and he writes, I recently met a girl from work who just moved back to the States after 2 years at our international office. We hit it off at an office happy hour and have seen each other fairly frequently for the past few weeks, but haven't had sex. I definitely have feelings for her, and I do think she feels the same way. However, she has legitimate concerns about starting a relationship within the workplace, especially given that we'll be working together on a couple projects. As a general rule, I don't date people I work with, but I've been single long enough to know what I want out of a relationship, and I do feel a very strong connection with this person. I've worked at the company long enough and earned enough street cred that I don't think I just become that guy who's dating a coworker. And we sit in separate offices on 2 separate teams within the company. She has reservations about starting something, but I'm ready to give it a shot and see where things go. There is a chance it doesn't work out because of work conflicts or because things flame out, but I don't think these are reasons not to at least try. What are your thoughts? Am I being too rash about all of this?
I would say those are definitely reasons why it might, why you shouldn't try it out. If it might flame out and then you're still working with somebody that you're dating, it's absolutely a reason why you might not want to try it. But that being said, dating a coworker, it's worth.
Me.
You might have heard of her.
Oh.
Congrats, Barbara.
It's Marielle.
Damn,
But
it's me.
it's worth having that conversation, and she seems to feel one way, you seem to feel another way. So make sure that you kind of discuss that and and you know.
Well, we kind of had a very similar situation.
Yeah.
Where so did we. Trevor and I started seeing each other very casually at first, kind of at the end of December, but then you were gone for Christmas, so it was kind of left in limbo for a little bit of what it was.
So we hung out, I had a birthday meetup and we went out for drinks to hang out at doesn't matter where, but
A pub.
a pub. Just just hanging out. And then, because I think we both had a little bit of interest in each other, and I was very like candid about like dating somebody who I was like what is this? Like we're both working together. Like there are definitely like concerns to be aware of. And then immediately I was out of town for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so we kind of like stayed in touch via text. But ultimately, I think it was great that we had those conversations because like if we were gonna try to date, we needed to be aware of these concerns. And kind of like while talking about it and being open and honest about it, we kind of got to know each other very well because we were just being very open and candid with each other. And we found that we had a very strong connection, and I felt that the connection was strong enough, like, and I hope you agree, but the connection was strong enough that I was like, I'm not really super concerned about.
Well, at first,
you know.
I was very hesitant.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if this goes wrong, or if like
Right.
this is just a fling or anything, like I don't know what that'll mean for our working relationship and all that stuff.
Right.
And so at first I think we were very much like, this is a bad idea, we shouldn't be hanging out, we shouldn't be pursuing this, but then like we just never wanted to stop hanging out.
Yeah.
And like being very honest throughout the whole thing.
I definitely felt like I had my hand up, like to be like.
I think both of us did.
We were kind of keeping each other at arm's length to like until, ow.
And that's smart.
yeah.
You guys were doing it right. That's smart.
And then we got to know each other very like pretty deeply, and then we were like, well, I think that there's something way deeper here than like, so I'm not really concerned about those risks because yeah.
And I get the concern from her, but it's also, it's natural to kind of be interested in people you're working with because you're around each other a lot. You probably have similar interests. You have similar friends, and it's just you see each other all the time.
We're also, I think a thing to note here is that we're all like around the same age. Like it's almost like high school all over again.
Yeah.
You know.
And we work at a very open company where you're very open with each other.
Yeah,
It's
and
very
we're all
easy to
creative.
get to know each other very well.
And have similar
You guys are
backgrounds.
always open on this show, I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
We
that's a
are
great
always open
name.
on the show.
Good name. We've been calling it just
Trevor.
okay.
Canadian
Trevor.
and gay.
Oh my God, I think he's onto something.
Sorry, septic? Is that
What?
But Jessica, I also like want to hear your perspective on this because you were dating someone who works here, but you guys were dating before
Yes.
you came to the company.
We kept it on the low before
She's confused.
she
All right.
started working.
She's confused.
All right, who are you, Matt Hollum today?
Yeah, Matt Hall, just breaking all the jokes.
Matt just like, when he was on the show, he just kept like not being straight with some questions.
Yeah, I haven't seen that episode,
It was
and I
great.
can't wait to watch it.
It was really great.
Yeah, so Devin works in facilities as a hospitality coordinator, and we were dating before. So I had worked here, and he came in about 6 months after. And I know him from college. I did not like him in college. I thought he was a giant douchebag. So that we didn't even speak in college. Anyway, fast forward years later. So when I put his name in the bag to John Mace about to possibly get this position, he had asked me a couple questions like, what if one day you guys are in a fight, or like if this doesn't work out? And me and Devin even talked about it because we spend a lot of time together, and then we're gonna spend more time together at work, and then what if things don't go well? Exactly the same issues, you know?
Yeah.
And but it's we had a talk of like, we don't actually work in the same office with each other 24/7, so there is separation there, and then also it's like a level of maturity and communication that has to happen in the sense of like, there have been days where me and him have been in fights and we do not see each other or talk to each other, and that's okay because we need to give each other space. So even though we work at the same place, we know to give each other space, and it's all about respect. The same type of, you know, important qualities that need to be in a normal relationship have to be in a workplace
Well, I think
relationship too.
Part of that respect is respecting each other's professional careers.
Absolutely.
And like the last thing, like let's say this didn't work out and whatever, like the last thing I would ever dream about is ever affecting negatively someone's career or someone's like path.
Bro, if you fuck shit up,
Mariel might fuck you up.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
I'll protect you.
I'm scared.
I'll ruin your shit. I'll ruin your
I
whole
mess with
fucking life.
her.
But
I
it's
will
just
find your bank accounts.
it's just like, because I don't know, I feel like when you're in a relationship that's like working, you both respect each other and love each other to an extent where even if it did end for whatever reason, you still respect each other enough to know that you shouldn't fuck with their jobs and their professional track.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then also if you work at a place where, you know, and I use The Office as an example because that's the only type of like, kind of
The
place.
show Office?
The show The Office.
I was like,
where
this
like they
office?
have.
I'll support you. I think that before you get too deep, The Office has many different relationships in it, and I think that if anyone at home has or has not seen it, there's so many parallels that anyone can draw to it.
Yes,
There's so many
that's
real
what I was thinking
relationships
of.
in that show that you can, so anyway.
Yeah, no, and where you have to kind of like go to, is it HR where you talk to them and be like, hey, this is a thing.
Do you guys have to disclose that?
No, not here.
Oh.
I mean, they're very well aware. I mean, people are married here. Like, they're
Right,
aware of like.
That's the thing that like.
It's like.
There's obviously a lot of front-facing relationships here, like you two and whatnot. But there's also like, there's people all over the place that are married to each other, and there's like, I mean, there's
Even in Achievement Hunter, our most recent editor hire was Alec, who has been working like as a contractor here for a while, and he is seeing our social media manager, Steffi.
Oh, okay.
And they're both very, very talented in what they do, but I also that was one of those situations where I messaged Glenn to be like, hey, this is like something that might be coming down the line. I want to make sure that we're like all above table, like everything's very transparent, like he's being hired on merit and experience and everything, but like.
Yeah.
Do you guys think? So I'm clearly not dating anyone.
Yeah, you're dating someone completely
My
separated from the
girlfriend works
company.
in a completely different industry.
Doesn't
But
even know Rooster Teeth.
she thinks I just go off every day. Where are you going? I don't know. But do you think it would be different if you were an achievement hunter, or you worked in social media, or if
If we were like right in the same office.
if you were
in the same
if you
department.
were well, that's the thing. I mean, we have Lindsay and Michael to kind of
Yeah.
aspire to, I guess. But do you think in your situations it would be different if you were working together?
I feel probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things in here that kind of like stood out that I would want to talk about is kind of like on that point. Like if you're working on a bunch of projects together, it is something. It's just worth being very candid about that conversation and the risks involved. And I mean, I don't want to say you're being too rash about it, because that's what your question is. Like, are you being too rash? Like, maybe a little bit. Definitely consider it. Definitely talk about it. Get to know each other on a deeper level, and see then if it is worth the potential risk,
Right.
or if you connect on a level that like that risk is a little bit mitigated because you're like we were saying, like you have that respect for each other, you have that high level of maturity. You know.
Yeah.
Because he does say like we work in different positions, different departments, but he does say
Different floors.
we're gonna have stuff that comes up that we're working together.
And that's literally like here.
Yeah.
We all work differently, but sometimes you have to get together and work
Sure.
sometimes together. Yeah, like you said, it just comes down to candid communication with one another.
I think it also depends on, use your best judgment. If something is so wonderful and you're happy doing it, it kind of sucks to miss out on something that could be pretty great.
Agreed.
And, you have to weigh the risk of like, is the risk of this gonna be too dangerous? But like, what if this really does work out and this is like something that lasts for a really long time and it's like really wonderful, maybe forever.
Yeah, it's curious. He mentions a few times that she's hesitant. So I mean, and it's like if she feels that strongly about it, then that should, not that it's a red flag, but it should be something that you deeply take into consideration, even if like, okay, say it doesn't work out, so guys can be still friends, but like if she's, if you're constantly pushing for this and she's like, hey, like either I'm not ready, like I'm not sure if I want to like
Or just really strict
risk
about
it,
not wanting to do it.
or I don't want to do it, then like you could ruin a good friendship there too. So you have to be careful about that, and just kind of, I don't know, man. I can't really speak to this question because I haven't ever really been in that situation.
It's a hard one. And no answer is right for everybody.
I agree.
It's all it depends kind of scenario.
Yeah.
So we can give you as much advice as we, like being open and honest, but like at the end of the day, it's down to you and her to like communicate. And if she feels very strongly about her position, that's one of those times where like I would say like the no would just trump the yes, because like you shouldn't force something like that to happen if she's very uncomfortable with it or the risks.
Yeah, and you should definitely respect if she's like, we'll pump the brakes a little bit. Like I don't know if I'm ready for that. If I don't like, either take more time or just kind of like lay low for a second.
Maybe just play it by ear.
play it by ear, exactly. Like
Like,
just
maybe
take it one day at a time.
Continue to hang out, keep it low key, maybe like keep it open too. Like don't be exclusive or anything like that. Have kind of something that has no rules to it and just see where it goes, see how you feel about it in a couple weeks, a couple months, whatever you need. And honestly, like as someone who has dated someone at work that has a relationship that ended, it can be okay. As long as both people are mature enough about it and value their jobs and value each other's jobs, it could still work out and people could remain friendly. You know, obviously, like after you end a relationship with someone that you were with for a while, it's never going to be the same as it was before that started, and that's just something you have to be aware of.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
This is a pickle, but
Yeah. What was the exact question? Am I being too rash?
am I
about
being
it?
too rash about all this? I think
In the end, no.
no.
Yeah.
But take into account someone else's feelings. Obviously, if you want to do this and you're like, I'm gung ho, let's do it, let's tell the world. Also realize that everyone may not be at that level.
Yeah.
And
Also
you've got to
gonna,
always
like-
take it one day at a time.
I'm also gonna back out just a little bit and remove myself from the specific question because I don't want to like insult anyone's feelings, but like also think about like how many times you've been attracted to people or how many people that you feel like, oh, this is such a connection. I love this person
Yeah.
or I have this crush on this person. Like, and sometimes it's fleeting. You know,
Yeah.
it might not be there next
Crash and
month.
burn,
Like,
yeah.
so it's just very aware, or it's very important to be aware of all those different elements and not try to be too short-sighted when it comes to something like this.
It's easy to see what's right in front of you and want
right.
that.
So just take all this into account and just like continue to assess the situation, be very open. Honestly, I mean, it's
But also then
Same old, same
things could work out very well.
Yeah.
And you could end up with someone like
you.
me.
Yeah. No, especially in your case, you guys were like, you were saying earlier, like, well, you guys just couldn't stop thinking about each other or like hanging out. So it's just like,
Yeah.
that's a huge sign that
Yeah.
maybe you should give it a shot
I
too.
think something he says is that
You
he's
know?
also been in a lot or has been single enough to know that he knows
Exactly.
what he wants.
Yeah.
Which is also
and
an
that's
important thing.
that's a very important.
Are you looking? Did you make a mark?
I kissed you on the cheek
I
and
had
I left a little.
I had a
Gross.
tic-tac-toe board of cliches, and when I got 3 in a row, I was like, fine. Or it was like a bingo board.
Okay.
But it was smaller.
Gotcha.
It was bean.
Yes.
Of me?
Just
Bean.
B-I-N. Yeah. So when I hit all the cliches in a row, I was like, fine.
What are the
I'll do
cliches?
it.
All right.
What your kid would look like.
That's it. Probably.
If I had
look
a,
like.
he's totally pure. He glows in the dark and he's hairless.
He has our expression.
Okay,
That's beautiful.
that's
All right. Well, thank you for joining us this week on Always Open. We're going to be doing an Improve My Profile segment
Yes.
on the post show.
Good and drunk.
We've had like almost 200 people
Yeah.
submit their dating profiles for
Yes.
us to look at.
Keep submitting
Including
them.
me.
Yes,
So
me too.
Yeah, we have Trevor's
maybe I'll
Tinder.
get it.
Submit your questions. Submit your box of issues. Submit your profiles. We'll do what we
what's
want.
the email?
It is butt snacks.
Nope.
At roosterteeth.com. Make it real. Also, it's just right here.
But
it's always
snack.
open at roosterteeth.com.
thank
I'm
you.
assuming.
It is.
Look at that camera flying around.
It's ready.
very-
It's ready to do the
Very
jig shot.
distracted.
Yep.
Treblish,
Babish.
Jeshkirsch, Mersh.
Mersh. I love that.
Thank you guys for joining me.
I think it'd be Merles.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Barb.
Appreciate it.
everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. Love and light and